Hello, good evening and welcome to the primetime news here on Joy News. My name is Gifty Ando Apia. Coming up in this bulletin, former Attorney General and citizen vigilante Martin Amidu secures another ruling in his favor as the Supreme Court orders Spanish firm Isoferton to also refund judgment debt paid to it. But the company's lawyer says it will pay no such monies. Chieftaincy crisis far from over as one of the factions warns the newly installed chief not to make any attempts to assert himself. Ghana Road Fund contemplates a 30% increase in road tolls to enable it to meet its obligations. And government kickstarts monitoring and evaluation program to appraise ministers and government appointees. The Asante barks proposals for increases in utility tariffs, but says any such adjustment must be within the reach of consumers. We have sports, showbiz and business as well as international news coming up if you stay with us. In the very first story, former Attorney General Martin Amidu has secured another ruling in his favor at the Supreme Court, exactly a week after it ruled that Waterville refund a €25 million judgment debt. The court has unanimously again ordered a refund of a $325,472 judgment debt paid to Spanish firm Isoferton. The company is also expected to refund any other monies paid them as default judgments secured from the High Court along with the interest accrued from the day the payment was made. The court accordingly set aside the original High Court ruling, saying it lacked legal basis.
According to the 9 Supreme Court justices, the High Court, which heard the original matter between Isoferton and government, assumed the exclusive and original jurisdiction of the court. In the opinion of the justices, the High Court erred in awarding default judgment to Isoferton on April 24, 2012, when the case was required to have been brought before the Supreme Court for constitutional interpretation. The court nullified the said agreement signed between Isoferton and the Ministry of Food and Agriculture for the execution of a solar-powered water pumping and irrigation project because it did not receive parliamentary approval in 2005. According to Isoferton, the plaintiff, Martin Amidu, could not sue it because a similar action had been instituted by the Attorney General to set aside the default judgment. The judges, however, disagreed on the grounds that the plaintiff, being a citizen of Ghana, had the right to sue the company for the breach of Article 181, Section 3, even though a similar action was ongoing at the High Court. The court granted 8 out of 9 reliefs being sought by the former Attorney General. The third defendant in the case, Anania J. Forson, according to the court, could not be a party to the suit because he was just performing his duty as a lawyer in suing the state by assuming the power of attorney of Isoferton. The court once again commended Martin Amidu for initiating the legal action that challenged the payment. Isoferton was seeking in excess of $1.3 million in judgment debt over claims its contract was illegally terminated by government in 2005.
Well, the Spanish firm at the center of the ruling, however, says it will not refund the money as directed by the Supreme Court. The company's lawyer, Anania J. Forson, explains to Joy News it cannot be made to pay for the shortcomings of government.
It is not the duty of Isoferton to take it to Parliament. It is the duty of government who signed the contract with us to have taken the matter to the contract to Parliament, and if they refuse to do that, Isoferton should not suffer for it.
So let me ask you a direct question. Will you pay the excess of $300,000 back to government or not?
No, we respect the view of the Supreme Court, but we disagree with them to direct us to pay. We have incurred a lot of debt that the Ghana government is aware. There are documents to the fact that they have said they will pay for the debt that we have incurred. And so the Supreme Court is saying that we should pay any money. Ghana government should take it from the expenses that we incurred and balance us again.
The 6 suspects who were arrested by the police yesterday in connection with the violence at Teshi have been remanded in police custody by the Osu Magistrate Court pending investigations.
According to the Teshi District Commander, Superintendent Samuel Tibio, the suspect will be assisting the police in their investigations.
Yesterday, we took statement from them, charged them on provisional offense of conspiracy to commit crime, routing with offensive weapon, and murder. They were put before court, Osu Magistrate Court, this morning, and they have been remanded into police custody and to appear on the 2nd July. They are in police custody to also assist in investigation because we don't want to be the 48 hours so that people will think that their human rights have been trampled. So now they have been properly remanded. They were, in all, there were 7 arrested, and then 3 were sent to police hospital. 1 was apprehended dead. So 1 was taken discharged, and he was added to those who were sent to court. So 6 were sent to court, and 1 is still on admission at police hospital receiving treatment. He is under police guard.
A visit around the area revealed heavy police presence, with residents going about their business as usual.
At the moment, the town is calm, and everyone is going about his or her normal duties. The police presence being felt, we are accessible, visible, and we are going to maintain peace as and when the situation is stabilized.
The police has meanwhile cordoned off the Manjano, the area proposed for the performance of the rituals by the people of Teshi.
Meanwhile, calm has returned to Teshi, where a new chief, Nikamwa III, has been installed after a day of violence clashes in a chieftaincy dispute that left 1 person dead and others critically injured. As Emmanuel Ante reports, however, the crisis is far from over, as one of the factions in the dispute is threatening mayhem if the newly installed chief attempts to assert his authority.
According to Nikwa Abuchi, who claims to be the Jasiche or kingmaker in the town, the installation was illegal.
The nomination and the installation and ordering of a chief should be done by public notice, 14 days. Anything that is done outside this periphery of the law is null, void, and of no legal effect. So what they have done, I'm not sure they have even done anything, because nobody is going to recognize anybody who has been hidden in the bedroom and is claimed to be a chief.
But the newly installed chief, Nikamwa III, disagrees.
I don't think they know what they are talking about. We've got traditions, customs, and norms. If you recollect, Dasantihene, he did his installation at the Kumasi Sports Stadium because Manchia has become too small for an event like that. Yeah, so we have places for doing things. But when it becomes necessary, you can move a ceremony, you can move an event to any place in the land. What you need to do is to pour libation and apologize to the gods, and they will give you permission to do it. So I don't think he has any idea what he was talking about.
Nikwa Abuchi vowed the newly installed chief will not be allowed to perform any function or customary rites at the uncompleted palace.
They will not dare come here. You see, if they are the people, the sort of people that they claim, let them come out and face the public. Yesterday, the women and the children that you were talking about were among our ranks throwing stones against people that were very armed with AK-47 rifles. The women and the children that you are seeking, the interest of who you are seeking, were among our rank because they do not want an alien to be imposed on them. They don't want an unacceptable chief to be imposed on them.
The new chief, Nikamwa III, however, urged aggrieved parties to resort to the laid-down procedure in matters such as these.
We avoided Manjano because we didn't want a fight. We've got traditional processes if you think something has gone amiss. And you follow the rule of law. We've got the Ghana Traditional Council, and then we've got the legal system. If they think something has taken place somewhere, and they think it's against the norm, it's against practice, they can take their grievances to wherever they want to take it.
He said he does not foresee any clashes and assured the people of Teshi they will be safe.
I can assure everybody in Teshi that there is not going to be any war because somebody says he doesn't recognize me. The one who was talking has no locus. Tioko Abuchi has no locus in Teshi.
The Judge, however, said there will be serious conflict if the new chief attempts to assert himself.
If he's a chief, then he should be a chief in the bedroom where he was allegedly installed. A chief that is recognized by the people is adored at Manjano. Anything to the contrary is not acceptable. And so let them there bring out their chiefs and they will face the wrath of the people.
But the police have told Joy News any form of violence will not be countenanced and warned the various factions to desist from taking the law into their own hands.
We are still monitoring, patrolling. We are talking to them. They should also know that when there's a problem, it's not police that suffers. Their own children, wife who suffer. So they should also reason. I'm appealing to the elders to reason and come together and find a lasting solution to this issue. This back and forth is not helping anybody.
The tension that characterized yesterday's violence has meanwhile subsided.
We're still in Teshi, and pupils of the King David School in Teshi are yet to recover from the trauma they suffered after some youth threatened to burn down their school yesterday. Thanks to a timely midterm break, the pupils have a few days to get over the scare. But as Abigail Adumako entry reports, most parents are not looking forward to sending their wards back to the school.
The June 20 clashes between two factions in a protracted chieftaincy dispute in the town was taken to the school, causing the pupils to flee for their lives. Though the children are away for the midterm break, the scars of the attack are all too glaring.
Here at Ajele Lamo, a community of Teshi, very close to the King David School, where a pandemonium of some sort happened yesterday. Pupils are still frightened and traumatized with what they have gone through yesterday. Now is the second time they are hearing of their school going to be burnt down. For them, it's not easy going back to the same school.
I want to change my school. Because I'm panicking, I'm afraid.
Of this particular school or going to school in general?
I'm afraid of this particular school because how they are doing the things, they can burn it. They'll come and burn it one day.
If I remember the school, I feel like I don't want to go back to the school. I'm afraid that they will come again.
Some parents spoke to Joy News about how news of the attack got to them.
I was afraid when I saw that I've seen one, but I haven't seen the two children. I was afraid. But also because of the parents, if they hadn't rushed to the school, this would never have happened because they rushed saying that the school was burning. So they are going in for their children. So when I went home and I found my children, I became happy because my two children were in the house and I've also gotten the smaller one.
For them, till school authorities intensify security, it will be difficult to get the wards back into the school on the 24th of June.
I'm asking the administration to the school so that they will prepare some policemen so that they will protect the school. And even they should have a better gate and a better security in the gate so that when something like that happens, they will protect the gate.
Management has been meeting the parents to assure them of their ward's safety.
I've talked to the commander of Teshi Police, and yesterday the police maintained peace till this morning. And this morning to another badges here moving around. And from tomorrow till Monday, the children will come. The councillors will come and counsel them. We want to assure all parents that from Monday they have to bring their wards to the school and everything is in order.
David Niashai Ama was, however, unhappy. He had been linked to the Teshi chieftaincy dispute.
I'm not among anything. I'm not even included in any discussion about chieftaincy matter. So they should let me out. I want to tell all of them, never. What they are trying to do, yes, they want to disorganize the school, and I don't want that.
Government has kick-started a monitoring and evaluation program for ministers and government appointees, with the first set of ministers defending their strategies at the presidency. Deputy Information and Media Relations Minister Murtala Mohammed told journalists at the Flagstaff House today the ministers were made to provide timelines on the achievement of their goals. According to him, all ministers and appointees will be taken through the process every year. The Monitoring and Evaluation Program was first announced by Senior Policy Coordinator Sule Gariba in January this year. The ministers who have been taken through the process are Gender, Children and Social Protection, Finance, Information and Media Relations, and Local Government. Murtala Mohammed told the Presidential Press Corps the appointees' performance can now be measured by their contracts.
There are going to be targets and there are going to be strategies through which you can achieve those targets, and your performance to a very large extent will be evaluated, assessed and evaluated based on the targets that you set as a minister. Each minister will be assessed, possibly a year or depending on the time that is identified, and the assessment would inform His Excellency the President whether that minister needs to continue as a minister or not. So performance is not going to, or assessment is not going to be based on who you are, or sometimes the Vice President, if the President is so sits in, including other agencies and ministers and other, if you like, advisors to His Excellency the President who have some expertise in those areas.
Policy think tank Imani Ghana, when the program was first announced in January, recommended the publication of the benchmarks for the assessment of the appointees. But the Deputy Information and Media Relations Minister said he had not been briefed on that. He dismissed suggestions that a proposal by ICT firm RLG to provide boreholes in locations in all 275 constituencies, as determined by their members of parliament, amounts to compromising the legislature.
I think that the letter was written to the leadership of parliament to be communicated to members of parliament irrespective of their political affiliation. But I think that there is nothing wrong with such assistance. I would be very shocked that if any MP can be bought with a borehole. But the last time I checked, all the 275 MPs are MPs who are very independent in terms of the decisions that they take.
You're still watching the primetime news here on Joy News. Now, today's hot issue is that Ghana Road Fund mulls a 30% increase in road tolls. Now, coming after an astronomical increase in 2010, we'd love to hear what you have to say about it, especially if you are a motorist. But when we return from this break, we'll bring you details of that story. Please stay. You're welcome back and many thanks for staying. Now, if you're a motorist, then you have to beware because the toll you pay for using some of the country's highways may just go up by 30%. That is if the Ghana Road Fund has its way. It says the increase has become necessary so it will have enough funds to meet its obligations, such as clearing its indebtedness to road contractors. The fund's director, Frank Agbenato, puts that indebtedness at 200 million Ghana cedis, a situation he says has affected several road projects.
Mr. Agbenato concedes the fund has not performed creditably ever since it was established in 1995, but blames this on constraints beyond their control.
There are serious challenges with the pilfering, or we call it leakages, especially at the toll plazas, toll stations. What we have decided to do was to automate these toll plazas. Once we bring in the automation, it sort of reduces or eliminates the leakages because we are able to know the number of vehicles that pass at every point of time. And once we know that, we know what to expect at the end of the day. So our intention is to implicate the pilot that we did on the motorway and at Kaswa. We want to replicate it on the other sections where we collect tolls.
He outlined some challenges the fund was currently facing and spoke about measures that must be implemented to reverse the trend.
The fact that we have not even been able to pay the contractors is a clear indication that the money is not enough. And most of contractors who have worked for the agencies have their bills ranging from last year, 2012. The last time we made any payment, that was in just this June. We paid up to February of last year. The bills that came to us in February last year, that is what we were able to pay. So it means that bills are still outstanding from March right down to today. So that is the indebtedness we have towards contractors. So there is the agency to increase what comes into the fund to be able to support all these activities if we want to have good roads to drive on.
This notwithstanding, he says the fund can boast of some significant achievements.
A lot of work were done, re-graveling, for example, of our gravel roads. Wa, Bulenga, Yala, about 50 kilometers of road was re-graveled. Wahabu Yala, Sombisi, Tumu, Sicily, Navrongo, they were all re-graveled.
The fund has meanwhile hinted it will undertake a national stakeholders forum before the end of the year to enable officials deliberate on the percentage increase in road tolls in order not to bring untold hardships to Ghanaians. The road tolls only 3 years ago went up in some instances by as much as 10 times.
That we did on the motorway and at Kaswa. We want to replicate it on the other sections where we collect tolls on the roads.
All right, so that is what the road fund is saying. Now, this is a hot issue for today. So, do they really deserve the increment that they're asking for? Join us on our Facebook page and let's hear from you. The question that we've posted there is coming after an astronomical increase in 2010. Would love to hear from you as far as what you have to say is concerned, especially if you are a motorist. Let's know from you if you think they deserve it. Now, moving on, police recruits at the Ashanti Regional Police Training School have been advised to refrain from negative acts that would dent the image of the police service. At the passage out parade of 417 general recruits, the Commissioner of Police, Frank Edupoku, said those who fail to comply would not survive for long in the service. Mahmoud Mohamed Nuruddin reports.
The recruits underwent training in criminal law, criminal procedure, criminal investigation, law of evidence, acts and decrees, service instruction, among others, during the 6 months. The Commissioner of Police was confident police visibility and accessibility would significantly improve with the passing out of more recruits. He conceded that visibility patrols, traditional methods of regular patrols, quick response to criminalities and old methods of investigations would have little apparent effects in the prevention of crime unless intelligence, volunteering of information by the public, and the use of forensic to magnify effects of operations are right on target.
Similarly, policing is a shared responsibility between the police service and the citizen. The citizens are expected to give information to the police, since it is said that to every crime committed, there's one public eye that sees it. Such information will provide essential links in the investigation of criminal cases. However, for the general public to trust and be prepared to offer information to the police personnel must be civil, courteous, and receptive. The soon-to-be constables on parade to exhibit these traits so as to foster a good working relationship with the general public, whom you have sworn to serve and protect.
He urged the new officers to be civil, courteous, and receptive so the public would volunteer information. He was unhappy about the practice where the print media uses the photograph of the IGP on stories involving miscreants and criminals masquerading in police uniforms. He reiterated the police's commitment to ensure that post-election security challenges are adequately managed so that the security of the country is not compromised. 417 recruits graduated.
It's a wonderful day, dear life.
So we salute the new recruits. Congratulations to them. Now, health centers in the Chifopraso district in the central region are complaining about the frequent power outages in the town. The situation, they say, have compelled them to resort to the use of generators to ensure their patients get quality health care. Now, the director of the hospital, Dr. Anand, who spoke off camera, said though the situation is the same in the other health sectors, it is gradually affecting their finances. According to him, monies which would have been used to provide medicines for their pharmacy and meet other obligations of the hospital have to be diverted to buy fuel. He described the situation as unpleasant and hoped the energy crisis will be completely resolved soon. He was, however, grateful to government for supplying the facility with a generator. The Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development, together with the French Development Agency, has presented vehicles to 4 Metropolitan and Municipal District Assemblies. The vehicles are to facilitate the implementation of some development projects in Kumasi, Tamale, Ho, and Sekende Takrade.
The beneficiary Metropolitan and Municipal Assemblies each received a Nissan pickup truck, computer, and accessories under the Ghana Urban Management Pilot Project. It aims to develop selected cities by upgrading markets, constructing roads and engineered landfills, as well as providing other infrastructure. Funded with a 40.5 million euros concessionary loan from the French Development Agency, it will be expanded to cover various cities once the pilot is successful.
The idea is really to start this program, and when it has started effectively, to continue and to start the preparation of a new financing for other metropolitan or municipal assemblies. We consider that these works, to be well implemented and monitored, needs to strengthen the capacities of the municipal and metropolitan assemblies. So that's why we think that capacity building, training, support, equipment, cars are key for the development of the municipalities and for the benefit of the implementation of the project.
The Metropolitan and Municipal Chief Executives who took delivery of the vehicles promised to put them to good use.
We believe that this something that we need to take very seriously in terms of the maintenance. We know a lot of money has been put into it for this facilities and equipment to be given to us. So we'll make sure that the routine maintenance will be carried out effectively, and that will mean, as the mayor of Tamale, I have to ensure that I monitor to make sure that the maintenance is done periodically, and also to make sure that it is not misused. It will be used as the project has intended.
The project will also support street naming and addressing, as well as other training programs to enhance standard of living in the cities.
Welcome to the business segment. Now, the utility companies may have their biggest backing yet to proposals for an upward review in their tariffs. The Asantehene Otumfuo said to the second at a consultative forum in Kumasi organized by the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission described the increases as necessary. He's, however, urging for the service providers to consider the consumer's ability to pay. Mahmoud Mohamed Nuruddin reports.
He said the PURC must consider the economic situation of the ordinary members of society. Otumfuo also questioned the indebtedness of some public and private corporate institutions to the service providers who do not spare individuals who owe.
We are in collusion with the electricity companies. So these factories, 8 mining companies, some of these companies, industries here, water money. Some of them are in collusion with the electricity companies themselves. Yes, short change here. From most of the employees at the electricity company. And immediately realized that the tariff now was here. See, so once we are coming to the poor people, say in Triana, it comes the mountain, near BSU, own places, and for
He said the end user must not be made to suffer for the inefficiency of some officials.
We want to increase the tariffs, which we agree because money for the Christmas. There are also issues with the agencies now. It's more transfer. I'm evaluating in where the concerns are. We have to increase. But ability to pay must also be looked at seriously before we pass it on to the consumer. 166, and I'm going to break even, yes. But I'm for 166% in my now. This is a multi-chain crab, I'm facing out. Most wanted to modern, so near I face now. You continue your belt, I almost want to mobile to VR name, ECG name, great company. I must want to mobile to only water company.
The Asantehene also charged power suppliers to observe a good maintenance culture to curb the frequent breakdown of machinery. On illegal electricity connections, he blamed the ECG, whose staff, he says, indulge in acts that amount to waste.
All right, now the Ghana Insurance Association says though micro insurance products are available for market traders, the high risks involved remains a disincentive. It says till traders operate from appropriate market structures, insurance companies will always shy away from them.
Most traders in the markets are in no hurry to insure their wares despite the recent fires. And though the fire policy is to ensure there are insurance products to cover markets, the insurance companies are also not so eager.
People think that insurance companies are going to make a lot of money. No, because the kind of risk that they present is below what you get from the average risk that we insure. So companies are making a lot of efforts to try to understand that market, so that they can design the type of product that will meet their needs. So that is the phase we are now. Many of the companies selling are piloting this scheme. So they are using, agents who understand their language, who can sit with them and then explain to them. And also because of the development of microfinance, the microfinance people understand the language of the market woman. So we are using that channel also to be able to sell insurance to them.
The poor awareness about insurance also means the traders don't access packages available for them. A key challenge the Insurance Association believes could be resolved with intensified education.
That's one challenge which the industry acknowledges. We need to have simple, language policies. I think some of the companies writing the microinsurance product have got a simplified version that they're selling. We are even working with the GIZ to even have these policies explained in diagrams. For example, the project that we are working on agri insurance, for example, they designed education materials which will use just drawings to show. It will take us some time to get there because insurance is a little bit complex. So we are working on that.
Several traders operate from combustible structures, and for insurance companies, till such structures are changed, insuring them will remain challenging. Abigail Adumakwenchi for Joy News.
In a related development, Deputy Information and Media Relations Minister Murtala Mohammed has maintained the arrest of suspect in connection with the recent market fires is not a fluke. The announcement was made on Thursday without the names of the suspect. He, however, says those specifics will not be made public until the investigations are over.
I think that anybody who appreciates what we call transparent governance would understand why we had to put the information out there. The fires are things that are of cosmic concern to everybody in this country. The people of this country need to know, and therefore it is not out of place to let people understand that this is what we have done, this is how far the investigation has gone, and this is what we have been able to do. So I can tell you as I sit here, we have names of those who engage in it. We have the ages of those people. We have specific where they were picked and the times they were picked. Like I said, when you pick people, you need to do some screening. And I indicated yesterday that the screening is being done. It's possible that after the screening, certain individuals or persons may be dropped. And now if you rush to put out the name of such a person, and the person is dropped because there isn't any evidence to suggest that such a person was engaged in that crime, you would have succeeded in denting the image of the person. But I'm saying that we put out this information as one of the processes of deepening the transparent governance as we all agree we should.
Okay, we are wrapping up in a jiffy, but let's quickly do our social media and what people have to say about what the Ghana Road Fund is asking. Now, Saeed Mohammed said it is a good move, and I hope we will see more road maintenance than before. But Bezel Davis said they should first account for the initial increments they made in the past 4 years before asking for another increment. And Ken Carroll says this is ridiculous. They don't provide us with good roads, and the roads are all full of potholes, yet they want an increment of 30%. Ghanaians are really suffering, he says. Now, Let me quickly skip to Ahmed Salman. He said, not easy. This year, utilities want 160% enrolls to wants 30%. Minister Gabriel Asenso said they don't deserve it. What have they done with what they received? So these are your comments coming in through our social media platform. But let's quickly wrap up stories we've been looking at today. Former Attorney General and citizen vigilante Martin Amidu secures another ruling in his favor as the Supreme Court orders Spanish firm Isoferton to also refund judgment debts paid to it. But the company's lawyer says it will pay no such monies. Teshi chieftaincy crisis far from over as one of the factions warns the newly installed chief not to make any attempts to assert himself. Ghana Road Fund contemplates a 30% increase in road tolls to enable it meet its obligations. And government kickstarts monitoring and evaluation program to upraise ministers and government appointees. Also, the Asante Hene is backing proposals for increases in utility tariffs, but he says any such adjustments must be made within the reach of consumers. That's it for today. Many thanks for your time. My name is Gifty Andopia. Do enjoy your evening.